Streaming. Okay, so anybody hearing it at this point is probably going to be hearing the after recording, which is going to be on your channel Z, but we are streaming the podcast live. This is episode 6. We actually don't have a whole lot planned for this episode, but like normal, we're going to be ranting about all kinds of things off topic, and people should be coming to the stream any moment now. There you go.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
I can't wait.
Waiting.
Give me the link so I can read chat. Throw it in Discord.
Also, so one thing that Z wanted to cover was having availability of audio products in other countries. So I guess we can just start with that and go from there, right?
Yeah, if you guys want to get started with that, I'll find the stream link and I will send it to you in just a moment.
I could tell you from the 4 years of answering people's questions exactly where in the world you do not want to move. If you like audio, the places to avoid
Croatia.
are
North Korea,
Australia,
Kenya,
Canada, Mexico. Spain
what about New Zealand?
Pretty bad.
Is that on
New
the same boat as
counts,
Australia?
Yeah, they're the same boat. Anything that's... Here's the thing. Everything's made in China, right?
Wait, why is Canada so bad? That surprises me.
Go to Amazon.ca and look for things. You'll find like 30% of everything that is available, and at the same time, it'll be twice as much money.
Oh, really?
That's why Fluence is so popular, because Fluence is a Canadian company, so they sell it in Canada. But like micas, what are those? That you just can't. I don't understand why the warehouses are so much smaller.
So the base shipping for like mass drop is like 6 weeks, right? 4 to 6 weeks.
Yes.
Is that worldwide or just in America, and worse for outside of America? Because I've never ordered anything off mass drop because I hate waiting. Like I'm super.
I actually order things off mass drop because I like waiting. I miss the old school days. I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to buy like a remote control tank with my mother. She's like, Mommy, I want to buy this tank. So she made me fill out the fucking piece of paper, and we wrote a check, we put it in an envelope, and we sent it out. I knew it was going to be like 4 weeks, 4 to 5, 6 weeks to be delivered, and that part of the waiting was great.
I don't think any normal human being wants to wait for things. I want things to be here instantly.
I'm not normal. That's
Amazon
fine. That's
Prime now.
That's one thing we all know is that you're not normal.
I'm not normal, but I will do something on mass drop just because I want this thing in my future. I don't need it now. I've got enough on my plate as it is, and if I order from mass drop, I know I'm going to wait. And that wasn't the case with the advanced alphas. I was one of like the 3 people. It was like you needed 3 to unlock this price for the advanced alpha planars. No one was buying. I was like the second person. I remember writing a comment in the thing saying, I hope these are exactly what people say. And 3 days later, they were at my door. I didn't even know the thing ended at that point. I was like, what's happening? I thought the company sent it to me, but it was indeed a mass drop. It ended, and they like had them in the trucks already. It was ridiculous. I've never ever experienced that from mass drop. Usually it is weeks. So I guess 3 of them sold. So
Amazon, do you ever have same day delivery in your area?
No, they had announced it was going to come to the Philly area, and then it just evaporated because they realized it takes. If I want to drive to this, I'm 7 miles away from Center City. 7 miles away the crow flies. If I get in my car during like mild rush hour, it's 41 minutes to get there. It's impossible to move.
I'm kind of surprised that I know that Amazon started in Seattle, but I'm in the Seattle area. I was kind of surprised that they have same day delivery for even cheap products. Like before, when I lived in Sacramento, you'd have to pay for like $35 worth of goods, or you'd have to pay whatever that subtracted amount was. So if you only had $25 worth of goods, you'd have to pay $15 to get it that day. But here, you could buy a $5 item and they'd give it to you in the same day, which is nuts. I don't think logistics, that must be a nightmare.
Yeah, I was going to say, Odyssey Mobius, doesn't that, you said that has a larger than 100 millimeter driver, didn't you?
It's like 100. I think it's exact. It doesn't matter. I saw the Indiegogo was launched. I saw what it was. I went, okay, this is what the Patreon money's for. Immediately jumped in at the $250 bracket. Because it's for $250. You're getting a closed back planar headphone, period, from Odyssey period, and then it has other things. They showed something that they showed a diagram that said it was like audio shadowing, which showed a sound on the left hitting the left ear cup, and then it showed a residual of the sound on the right ear cup, which makes me believe there's some sort of crossfeed in there. Which
do you know where we can find the specs of it? I'm looking on the Indiegogo page as it is.
I think the Indiegogo is about all they're going to have right now. They're not going to tell you anything until they sell it.
I was looking for the driver size specifically. I think it's actually a larger driver than the EL8, as strange as that sounds, because EL8 is exactly 100 millimeter.
Speaking of Indiegogos, have you guys seen this crowdfunding project for, there's a company that is offering a 100% fatality rate for anybody who wants to get their brain frozen for the future and hopefully plugged into a computer later down the road.
That is interesting.
100% mortality means you're going to die.
Yeah. No, so basically right now they're taking terminally ill patients and they're starting there. And they're basically like, when you die, we're going to hook you up to a fake heart and fake lungs and pump your brain full of blood and oxygen until we can freeze it rapidly. And then we're going to freeze it rapidly and we're going to save it for you.
That's interesting.
And so it's like, I guess, I don't know the legality of it. I don't know if it'll actually ever come to fruition. But I guess you can also voluntarily do this. But
yes,
I mean, people have this weird.
I'm answering questions from the comments.
By the way, I just want to say real quick, I did find out. Yeah, the EL8 and the Mobius are the same size driver, but the Mobius, it says the built-in amplifier can output 1 watt of power.
Yes, they did say that. It said balanced amplifier.
Yeah,
so
which is built-in balanced
built-in Bluetooth.
Maximum SPL greater than 120 decibels. So those are made to be pretty freaking loud.
I mean, I'm currently right now sitting at this podcast wearing the one more what the hell is the name things. These are the
it's not the triples, it's whatever the other one is.
No, the other ones.
Yeah.
Where's the box? The gaming headset that it came out with.
Oh, I'll find the name of it.
That they had at Can Jam. I forget what it is, the saber tooth or the slashy buttons or the
Spearhead.
Spearhead, thank you. I bought them. I just bought them because I tried them at Can Jam and like, these are interesting, and I could wait for them to send them to me, or I could buy them, and then if I give them an absolutely crap review, I could do it without any subconscious decisions. Say I bought these, but they are fucking comfortable. They are well made.
Yeah, they're really good.
I'm gonna end up doing a review of these and probably the Astro A40s, which I've had here for months, at the same time. And that's probably going to tie into my whole gaming headset thing. Because I was just this weekend at Fights, which is about 2 hours west of Philadelphia, which is a gaming land. And everyone goes there. And I sat there, and my friend who doesn't pay attention to most things, I was like bitching about the RGB headphones and all the LEDs in the headphones because all the headphones were all piece of shit gaming headphones. And he's like, really? And I said, turn around. And you look at this sea of people, of 250, 300 people sitting in the darkened room, and every keyboard is lit up RGB, and every mouse pad, and every mouse, and every computer case, and every headphone is fucking whatever the motherboard manufacturer. That's the thing. So here was my argument, and I made it today on the podcast. I made it today on my live stream. I made it on my unboxing of these headphones, and I'll make the argument here, and you guys could tell me if I sound a little bit too much like Hitler. But I'm okay with tricking stupid people into improving their lives.
Okay, that doesn't sound like Hitler. It depends on how you mean by improving their lives, because if you want to kill Jewish people...
Here's the thing.
I disagree with that.
No, there's no trains in my theory. Here's the thing. They know everyone's going to buy. There are things, okay, look, everyone's buying these gaming headsets. Let's get some shitty headphones. We'll throw some lights in it. We'll make a ton of money. That's the way it's gone.
Right, that's pretty standard. Razer.
That's pretty standard.
Logitech.
So now we have, Odyssey and one more and Sennheiser are 3 companies that I believe in that they don't know how, they can make a bad headphone. I'll admit it. But they've made pretty exceptional headphones, thrown colored shit on them, and marketed them to stupid people. But they're not bad. These headphones I'm wearing are not terrible, and I'm okay with fooling the general public into thinking these are gaming headphones and actually giving them something good. Because I think that might be the only way to fix society.
I think that's fine. I just disagree with the general premise of tricking people into making their lives better, because what's better is only subjective to you. Like,
correct. Well, I know.
Part of the reason why the gaming headphone epidemic, let's call it, has really taken place is because it's just about like being base cannons, right? And not good.
No, it's not. That's the thing. I'm doing this gaming thing. I'm going to come out with it. There are literally two types of gamers. Only two. If there's more than two, they can say it in the comments when I do my video. There are people who, yes, they want bass and soundstage and wide, blasty fun, and those are my people. Those are the people who play Doom and want to fire a cannon and have their dick literally shake off their body.
Right.
But the other half, and the people who are at fights playing in the competitive gaming.
Oh, well, they care about a competitive advantage, which goes soundstage.
No, it's imaging and footsteps. It could be literally broken down to just footsteps.
Soundstage.
Soundstage and imaging are very different.
You want.
Because with footsteps, like I was running into the problem with HD600s with footsteps in gaming, because I could hear the footsteps super, super clearly, but I couldn't locate where they were, how far away they were from me.
Well, and 600s have absolutely minimal sound, like none.
Yeah. Right.
You don't want wide, exorbitant soundstage because that removes the accuracy of the imaging.
Here's the thing too: HD650 has
it's imaging and soundstage hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean, another thing to notice, sorry, go ahead.
I'm using that as an example because it's the extreme opposite. It's like the least soundstagey headphone that
I have on the desk behind me, getting ready for its review, the Sennheiser GSX 1000. Which is Sennheiser's gaming amp.
Yeah.
And it's going to get a good review. It is probably one of the most amazingly well-designed pieces of equipment I've ever touched.
Something else worth noting, though. Like, the HD600 and HD650, some people will tell you they're not different at all, but they are. But, I mean, the HD600 for gaming is definitely a no-go because the soundstage and imaging are just... They're as narrow as you can possibly get.
Than Razer Krakens.
Right.
I was able to use my 600s for gaming for 20 minutes. And that was after I got my Jotunheim and a balanced cable built for it. So I was all ready to wear my custom colored 600s for gaming. 20 minutes, I put them down. I took my X1s, my Fidelio X1s off the wall. And then I was able, oh God, I felt so much better.
No, I think what's happening is that the two types of gamers are competitive gamers and gamers who play for fun. Gamers who play for fun look for bass, competitive look for soundstage and imaging. But I think we're seeing a shift in how many of each we're seeing, because as people are having, they're playing for enjoyment, well, because of Twitch and YouTube and all these things that allow people to somewhat make money off of gaming. Now, all of a sudden, everybody who was playing for just simply pleasure 5 years ago is now playing in a semi-competitive arena, and they want to be competent and they want to get a lot of kills because that brings them more views and makes people trust what they're saying and like their content more. So they're looking for every edge, and that's why you started to see this huge kick up in mechanical keyboards and gaming mice and gaming headsets and ultra wide monitors that give you extra field of view and all that stuff.
Well, right.
So it's definitely shifting towards a more, what I think is a better sound. I think that soundstage and imaging are more important than the deepest possible rumbling, shake your balls off bass that you can have.
It depends on what you're looking for, too. But the thing is I was saying real quick, though, you can have the best of both worlds, because while HD600 may not be very good for gaming, HD650 and HD6XX is a pretty big contrast when gaming compared to HD600, because their imaging is actually significantly better, and you still do get more extended bass in HD600. So, I mean, personal experience.
Josh hasn't seen my videos, probably. I almost always have to explain the difference between soundstage and imaging.
Oh, I know. I can explain it.
Go ahead. Teach me.
So I would say that soundstage is the range at which something either sounds close to your body or away from your body in a distance factor, whereas imaging is more within that given range. How precisely can you isolate exactly left to right where it's coming from? And not only left to right, but forward and back, and see. So, like, you could say, all right, at
I'd say
45 degrees.
I'd say that's accurate, but the problem is most headphones when you push the soundstage wide, you you literally don't have the points of precision anymore in the middle. Yeah. You just rip it. All of a sudden things go from
it stretches.
Narrow headphones can go, oh, it's left, now it's a little less left, now it's almost in the center, now it's in the center, now it's a little bit of, and then when you go super crazy wide headphones, you get way left, left, center, right, way right. So you lose.
Well, it's like if you took a Sharpie on like a rubber band and then you stretch the rubber band, that Sharpie, which would normally be a very precise point, is going to stretch over the course of, however, let's just say you stretch it twice as far as it started. It's going to be twice as wide a point from when you started.
That's fair. I mean, like I said, for comparison, though, like HT650 has a very narrow soundstage, but it's very easy to determine directional accuracy with that versus 600 or something else like that.
I have the brain of a hummingbird, so let me get my point across about the GSX 1000. Okay. It's a great unit. It's wonderfully built. There's a button on it that basically changes the equalizer on it, and you press it, and it's a little crosshair. Where you press it, it's a music note. You press it, and it's a movie theater. We press it, and it's flat. And the music one adds lots of bass. The movie theater basically makes it so V-shaped, vocals disappear. And the little crosshair, the only way I could describe it is anything under 110 hertz is gone. And everything between 400 and 3000 hertz has a huge lump in it. It is just treble. And that's what Sennheiser has researched and put into what gamers who do competitive want. They want no bass. They don't want any distractions. If a gamer who's doing hardcore could literally get rid of the sound of gunshots and explosions and just have slight indicators of where things are happening and then the footsteps coming up, that's what they'd want. They'd want no distractions, no birds, they don't care about that part of the game. It's just where guy kill go. I kill guy, I need to hear kill guy.
Now something interesting though, in relation to what you're saying, with EQ changes, the ways a lot of headphones get soundstage is actually by decreasing part of the mid-range. And ironically, the same frequencies that would have to be decreased to increase soundstage are the same frequencies that you would want for determining where footsteps are coming from, because those are the same frequencies that footsteps would fall into.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on the headphone, or not the headphone, sorry, the game, because I've noticed
that is also true.
Call of Duty is extremely overemphasized on the footsteps, like crazy overemphasized, compared to like what normal, let's just call them normal games would sound like.
Battlefield. Let's say Battlefield.
Well, Battlefield, they have really good sound mechanics. Actually, I really enjoy their sound.
Just
mechanics.
In comparison, or Counter-Strike, or just something, anything that's not Call of Duty.
I would say Battlefield is pretty realistic because you get like far away from. When you get far away from the battles, like you can hear more things. Like you hear the birds, you hear the grass, you hear the footsteps that are coming up to stab you in the back from behind, right? Whereas when you get closer into the battle, like Z was talking about, it's like you get all this extra stuff. You get gunshots left and right. You got cannonballs flying over your head. You have, the shells hitting the ground from the guy with an SMG right next to you. You have a lot of information being jam-packed in your head, and it's distracting. So like when you're in the middle of shit, the only thing that you can really rely on in terms of senses are visuals. So if you could take away all that, like he's kind of explaining that's kind of what the Sennheiser GSX 1000, is that what it is? That's basically what it's doing, then that's fucking perfect. Like that gives somebody a huge competitive advantage. Have you gamed with it a lot?
I gamed with it for a couple hours in MagFest and a few hours like last week. And I only run a couple games. So it's just when I can't put on that setting, it's just so painful to me. Because it's that if you could.
Well, let me ask you
this. There are some headphones that are good, like blank canvases, that they have just enough this and just enough that if you did EQ them, it would work for both competitive gaming and for fun gaming. You turn it on and off the bass, it'd be fun. It's just that Sennheiser, unfortunately, goes so far when you hit that button. It's like, oh, I want it to be competitive. It works through the speaker outputs too.
There should be a knob instead of a button.
So
it needs
let me ask you this though: if you had to play a competitive match where you were trying to get the best score possible, do you think it would help you?
I think if all of them, and I've had issues where I'm playing games with friends and it's a serious like shooter, and they're just talking or bullshitting, and if they're talking, I just die because I didn't hear the guy behind me. So the ultimate thing for me is no friends talking to me. I stand perfectly still in a corner and I listen. I've used my 007, my L700 stacks, and I could tell you exactly where everyone on the map is. If I'm sitting alone in a corner, and as long as no one is fucking talking or there's no explosions, it is the most insane advantage you could have. But it has to work. It has to work that way. It has to be quiet, and it's very hard to play a competitive game without your teammates yelling, "Yo, go mid, go long." Shut up, whisper,
fuck up.
Whisper. I need to hear things. So I think the best thing you could do for a competitive game is kill all your friends.
Definitely. I think that's the way to go.
Kill them all dead.
Kill your whole teammates. Yep.
Just team
Friendly
kill everybody
all the way,
and then just sit there like a goddamn Zen master and wait for the enemies to walk up to you. Because once you can hear the footsteps clearly, that's basically, you might as well have an aimbot at that point, because you pop around the corner exactly if you practice that enough. So yeah, it's the most cheat. Footsteps are important, but I very rarely play a game to that sort of level of severity where I want to kill all my friends. I'd rather have a good time, win some, lose some, move on, and then blow shit up in Doom. So I understand the competitive edge and what they want. And my biggest thing is like they're just selling shitty headphones for people to do this. I would love to get sponsored by like One More, or I don't know if Odyssey would do it, but to give away some of those really high-end gaming things at conventions instead of like MSI donated 7 of these Gaming Pro Furies, which I know are like $39.99 goddamn pieces of shit. Get it out there. I would love to just loan them out. Here, you playing a competitive match? Here. I brought with me to this gaming thing the Advanced Alpha Planars, because they're new and I like to hear them. And I brought the M1060 closebacks. And I brought 2 separate DAC. I still have the iDSD Black Label Nano, which I brought for the Advanced Alphas because they're possible to drive. And I brought my little FIO Q1. And my friend said, "Oh shit, I forgot my headphones." I handed him the FIO Q1 and the M1060Cs, and I let him go play whatever the hell he was playing. I was like, damn. He was just damn. Because that'll do it. That combo will do it more than any gaming headset will fucking do it. You put on the bass boost on that if you really want to have some fun, and you're good.
Do you game at all, DMS, or do you just kind of listen to music only?
I definitely game. I can't even tell you how much crazy amount of time I put in my life into video games.
I had to stop. I basically had to stop. I was Gary's mod for fucking like 8 years.
Yeah, I put like 4,000 hours into Destiny 1, which is insane to put 4,000 hours in any game. I probably put the same amount of time into Minecraft. I've already put like 100 hours into Subnautica. I absolutely love gaming. And for the past probably 5 or 6 years, I've been using 650s almost exclusively for gaming.
Okay.
Click, clack,
what are
click,
your
clack,
favorite,
clickety keys.
What are your favorite
sorry.
headphones for gaming?
That was a question for you, Z.
Oh, it was for me?
No, it was for you.
Oh, it's for me?
For both of us. It should be for both. It should be for all 3 of us.
Fuck you.
I'll eat your ass, and not in a good way.
Here's the thing.
Fine. Not okay to eating my ass. I'm not going to do that.
I always say 650s just because they're comfortable. I can wear them for 12 hours straight and never have any issues with comfort. But if I was talking just straight up sound, maybe something a little bit more fun. But I just 650s because I can just wear them forever, and I'm comfortable with how they sound. I'm very, very familiar with their imaging. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't. 650s are like, I feel like that's like the safe choice for games. If I look at my wall, which I have to the right of me, there's the X1s, which are the predecessor to the X2s, which basically just fit a little better and have slightly less bass, which is actually a good thing because the X2s are bass monsters. The X1s, soundstage, width, put them on, shit your pants, love playing Doom in them, really like, oh, I'm gaming. to the right of those, 82,000Xs. No soundstage. The only soundstage is added by the giant Alpha Dog pads in them. But probably the most precise imaging of any dynamic headphone I've ever used.
Ooh, Nick said, we need a game where Z takes a shot every time Marks mentions the 650s. I mentioned the 650s every, 3 minutes. So
I'm already dead. I'm already drunk thinking about it.
Alcohol.
But anyway, one of the scariest moments of I remember, very, very important moments in my gaming history.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the scariest moments ever was when I had first gotten the 2000Xs and we were playing Arma 2, I think.
Oh, that's such a fucking, it's a terrifying game sometimes, man.
Oh, no. Here's the thing. I was pinned down by fucking insurgent bastards, and they were firing Dragonovs over my head. And in those 2000Xs, I was actually scared. The sound of it cracking over my head was, because the treble on those is right at the edge of tolerable.
Right.
But it's so good. It's like nipple hardeningly good. And when you hear it's
the best kind of hardening
over your head with those, you are if I did my X1s, I would hear bullet sound.
You fucking shit your pants. It's cool. Yeah.
But on those, that's why usually if I review a headphone and it's a treble monster, I can't listen to music on it. The 990s couldn't do it. T1s can't recommend them. But if you're gaming,
there's 1990s.
The requirements, the 1990s are different. I love those. But the 1770s, too much treble. I couldn't listen to music in them because listening to a song is 5 minutes of a repeated treble track. But playing a game where you might be in a gun shootout for a minute and a half and then die, or maybe 20, where there's
especially
just an occasional...
with Arma's sound design.
Yeah, but the point is, if you have a headphone that has got too much treble, sell it to a gamer.
Actually, something interesting on the subject of that. The 99 Classics, I actually really like those for gaming now that I think about it.
Because I don't think I use the 99 Classics for gaming. I use them for everything else.
They have they have a good bit of treble, but at the same time, the bass is definitely boosted, so they extend really deep, but there's still decent treble in there. They're honestly pretty fun. This is a slightly off topic, but I remember we were doing a thing where Caitlin was playing Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, and she was using LCDs and flipped the hell out when she heard one of the pig monsters because it sounded like the door opening behind us.
Speaking of scary moments in video games, I will never forget the first time that I was sitting in a dark room and I had a pair of headphones on and it was just me and I was home alone. And I was 16 or 17 years old. And then all of a sudden a fucking Minecraft creeper blows up right behind me.
Those are the
Minecraft's the worst. Because Minecraft's the only game where you don't expect anything to happen for 45 minutes, an hour. You forget you're there. All of a sudden it's and you just shit your pants.
There's nothing scarier.
Well, that's what made Amnesia scary, the first one, because most of the game you don't see the monster, and eventually it just it's not like there's a jump scare. It just walks around a corner eventually, and you're like,
someone's asking questions in the chat if you want to address them about headphones for gaming. I want to take a pop at some of these. Monoprice Retro versus X2. Lol. Honestly, the Monoprice Retro and the X2 have a very similar signature. Just one is closed and one is open. Take your pick. I mean, the X2s have an obvious advantage on build, and they sound good with... Well, actually, they both sound good with music. I would say flip a coin. You're either going open or closed. The other one I see down here, no 650s. I'm not looking at those. Nipple hardeningly good. No. X100s for gaming, yay or nay? Because that's a hard one.
I didn't like X100s.
X100s... I've tried all three of them, and I remember my review from the first one, which was the teak, and then the next one was the Purple Heart, and the next one was the Ebony. And the Purple Heart were my favorite. And I didn't think that because all they say they change is the wood. So either my audio memory is really, really bad, or they change a whole lot more with the wood than I was imagining. But they are not wide. They are not a wide sounding can, and they usually have exorbitant amounts of low end.
Illyr or DT 1990 for gaming? I'd say 1990.
I would say the X100s do work for gaming, but they're a very strange mix of narrow, accurate imaging and then way too much low end. So they're like fun, but they're not wide fun.
War by talking about headphones. All the comments, my God.
That's sort of what we do, though, is we kind of talk about headphones.
I know, but it's that it's that hard comparison thing, though. It's like comparing headphones.
We banned Donald Washington. That's all I want to know. It's always what I want to know. I just want to ban his ass. K712s are also. I would say K712s are like the HD650s, but a better version for gaming.
Okay, hold on one sec. I didn't talk about something that's off topic, but it was on my mind, and I'm talking to the other creators, so I want to get your perspective and see if I'm right. So there's a dude who commented in here, and I'm not going to say who it was, but he commented on 3 of my videos saying the same thing. And he was all like, still waiting for the Nighthawk review, because I was doing like updates on it, because I wanted to get through that 150 hours of long-ass burn-in before I did a review. But I ended up returning them, so I never really followed up on it. Because like there was a rattle that developed in the left ear, and I just didn't feel like getting another
after they're
pair.
burned in, of course.
Yeah, basically, right? It was like the 28th day of a 30-day return policy. So, and I dealt with the rattle for like a week to see if maybe it like would disappear. You know, if that was part of the weird burn-in process, whatever. Anyways, the point is he commented on all these videos, and I was basically saying like, hey, I returned them. There's not going to be review on this, and he deleted all the comments now, but he basically flipped out because I didn't update them. So I want to ask, my position is that I don't owe anybody on this fucking site a goddamn thing, and if I do or don't make content, that's my prerogative, and if you don't like that, that's too bad. Fuck off. You can say whatever you want about it, and he did, but I also had the right to speak up about it too.
Well,
but I want to see if I'm on the page of, do you feel like you owe anything to your audience in any sense? If they're not giving you money, if it's just a YouTube like commenter, if it's a patron, it's a little bit different. But if it's just, and like I'm kind of getting into that territory of not respecting
I have
my audience.
I have a terrible dynamic going on right now, because I have a second channel. I have my original channel where I do unboxings, and it's literally, I want to kill myself, because I will unbox something when I get it, maybe even the day of it'll get published, and then I do my standard Zeos thing. I wear them, I put them down, I put them a week, I don't use them for 3 weeks. If I bought them, or if I have a very, very long methodology to review something, and I could take 3, maybe 4 months to review something. If I'm not enjoying it, if I'm not feeling it, I put it off. And if I've unboxed it and they know it, I will never hear the end of it. Because they see me unbox LCD2 Classics. And then in 2 days, no less than 2 days, no more than 2 days, I will get, my whatever video is live at the time, when are we going to see the review of the LCD2 Classics? And the more they ask, the more I don't want to put it out. Because it's just like, oh, I'll get 7, 8, 12, 45 people asking me about this thing that I unboxed. For these Sennheiser GSX 1000, I unboxed that like 6-7 months ago, just because I'm like, I should finally do it. I spent the $220 of the Patreon on it, and I put it there, and it's sort of like, all right, I'll get to that. But I want to have the right conditions to review it. I don't want to just force the review out because I bought the thing, and I don't have a very good turnover rate. I review everything I get. If you see me unbox it, I will review it, except for maybe that goddamn bass shaker, which the company started annoying me, and that's a no-no. I did not start a YouTube channel to have anyone yell at me to do anything.
Right.
I'll do it because I want to do it. But if you tell me to do it, fuck you. So basically, the GSX 1000 was waiting for this moment in time, because I've got that cheap $40 Sibasonic, I've got the Burson Play, and I've got the Mayflower Arc. All of those lined up on my desk behind me. That is the full range of current amp DACs with microphone ins. That's all of them. That's 4 of them. I even got, if I wanted to pull out the Astro Mix amp and throw it on the table too, but I feel like that, I just literally don't have the physical space and USB ports to do that. But now is the perfect time to compare and contrast. I like comparing things more than giving like just one thing a product review, because I could sit there and say, well, here's the GSX 1000. And how does it compare to nothing else on this desk? Or I could say, but now here's 3 or 4 things. This does this, this does this, and this does this. But if you go back to this, that's more of my style. I like to play things against each other and pick a winner. Right. Or at least give things, because it's wasting people's time. I do a review every 2 days. I put out a review. Every 2 to 2.5 to 3 days. So if I did 3 products behind me in 3 videos, that's a week's worth of content.
Right.
That no one's getting anything but that. So I'd rather shove them all into one video, get less views, but get it done. It's going to be an hour-long video for shit, sure, and I'll put timestamp jumps, but this is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for this moment.
So you think I'm justified, though?
You can do anything you want
on that. Well, I just want to see how you guys view it, because one, I haven't talked to really any of the creators, and I said, for everybody listening, like, I don't want to get into that territory where I'm like, oh, you're a fan, fuck you. Like, it's not that at all. It's just like, don't demand things from me.
When people like message you and they're like, oh my gosh, when are you gonna do the thing? Just there's gonna be 1 or 2 people that you may have to block their comments. You just may have to do it.
Yeah,
I got
that doesn't have to happen
shit
often,
on by a guy. I did my last announcement for the yard sale, and I'm still selling Yamos. And the guy literally came at me like, you're ripping people off. You bought all the stock, and now you're trying to sell it for $400 more than you bought it. And there was like 30 upvotes on it, and I'm just trying to damage. I could have easily just said, okay, hide every one of these guys' comments on my channel and delete it, and it would have gone away. But I don't do that. Because he made a point, and some people agreed and some people defended me, and that's fine. I want to have that argument in the open. I don't mean to do anything shitty on my channel. I don't mean to hide anything on my. I do mean to try to continue making money so that I could A, keep doing reviews, and B, eventually have money to move to a house or something. So business works in that fashion of buy low and sell high. And I had to try to explain that, yes, I bought a speaker for $129 that I announced every time it went on sale, I bought it. And every time it went on sale, I announced that, hey, everybody, buy these, because I want my fans to have them. They are great speakers. But when people stop buying it in 3 hours, I bought them all. Maybe I can make some money. And you know what? I've sold well, I'm not going to count the pair of numbers, but I've sold 5 pairs. Going back to the topic of you can't buy things out of America, Japan, I had one in Poland who canceled. I have one in Germany, South Africa, Australia, and was that 5? I don't know, a bunch. Everything is worldwide, because to buy those speakers in any of those countries is more than $1,200. So I was like minimum bid $750, and I pay shipping. That's like incredibly cheap. So if I can make some money on what I did and what I'm willing to do to handle these things out there, then that helps me go next month and buy something else. That's why I'm wearing the headphones I'm currently wearing, because I sold something, made some money back, and bought another set of headphones, because the channel has to perpetuate. How did we get to this topic? What were we talking about?
Josh was asking if we are audience anything. Actually, on the subject of that,
please, I'd like to hear your
I feel like I do to an extent to the people who help support the channel, like the patrons and stuff like that. Like, I want to promise content for them. As far as the rest of it goes, I feel like if I review something, it is my responsibility to as clear as I can about things. And if I failed to cover something in a review, I think it's my responsibility to either make a follow-up or go back and answer questions in the comments, because sometimes we do miss things. Sometimes it does happen. But aside from that, I don't necessarily feel like it's my obligation, because this isn't my day job. I mean, maybe one day if it ever is my job, then yeah, I think at that point it would be my responsibility to, owe a certain due to my audience. But before that, I think that if I'm making the content I want to make, which is why I do YouTube because I want to try and review and test a lot of audio equipment, because I love audio and I want to share my experience. That's why I do it. It's because I enjoy it. And if I'm not doing this because I enjoy it, then I don't see a lot of point in doing it. I mean, why would you do something that isn't your job and treat it like a job?
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. I do this. Yeah, go
that's
on.
That's kind of an issue with me, because like, I think that what is considered let's just say, for sake of example, a quote unquote traditional job and traditional job duties and so on and so forth. I think that what's considered a traditional job is fucking ridiculous. I think the shit that people go through in customer service, the food industry, who actually work in that,
I can't stand it.
I don't think anybody out there loves that. And the reason why is because the people are treated like fucking animals. And
it never made sense to me when I was in high school. It never made sense to me that the principal sat in office, maybe he resolved some issues, and got paid whatever. Meanwhile, the janitor would come out and clean all the toilets. If I would be like, I was just imagining, what if everyone who they wanted to be the janitor wanted to be paid more than the principal of the school? Because it's obviously a worse job. Yeah, it doesn't require much skill, but it requires a lot of determination. So what if nobody was willing to clean the toilets unless they got paid? That was my, like, I don't know, communist thing. Is it communist? I don't know. What is it? Am I being evil? But I never understood, like, oh, that's a shit job. We better pay them shit money. What if people just had the courage to refuse to do it unless they got paid? I mean, that's when you have strikes and you need unions.
Well, yeah, people do. It's just that there's somebody out there who's desperate.
Somebody's willing enough. Somebody's willing to always
that's
be the
problem.
Because people have to eat.
Thing.
That's the thing.
So it's like there's a missed opportunity, or occasionally you'll get your mass teacher strikes. I think they just had one in, where was it? Fucking Utah, somewhere. They just had a big ass teacher strike somewhere.
Pure capitalism, right there. He says, "Great, yes, it is the most capitalist idea ever."
But anyways, like what I was trying to get on with your point, DMS, is that, like, what's considered a job is, like, I think all of us do YouTube. Every creator does YouTube because they love it, and two, they don't want to do the alternative, which is work a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 5 or whatever.
Or they do it and a 9 to 5. My brother's doing his channel C does, where he's doing welding videos and he's working on his car and he's doing gun reviews, but he still has to work his 9 to 5.
Right.
Because he's got a few hundred subscribers, and I could tell you right now, I have nearly 100,000, and with doing a video every 2 days, without running mid-roll ads, I'm not, for a whole year, getting 1 million views a month. I'll admit this on stream, YouTube money's $9,800 for the whole year. Yeah. That was the most I've ever gotten. I was super enthusiastic. But could you imagine if YouTube was trying to be your entire job, and you have 100,000 people following you, you're making 1 million views a month, you're running ads but not mid-roll, and that's what you have to live off of? I can't do it. I have to have other jobs. I have to have other means supporting myself. You can't do it.
Yeah. I watched a video of a girl who had been on the channel for 10 years. And she had like 79,000 subscribers, and she was talking about, like, the new YouTube monetization rules and all that stuff. And she was basically saying, she's like, I've had this channel for 10 years, uploading like 2 or 3 times a week, and my channel just never blew up. And she's like, in November, I barely, like, she's like, I was $3 over the check cap that you need to make to receive a check from YouTube, which is, for those of you who don't know, $100. So she made $103 in November as her main job after 10 years. Like,
you can't do it.
Brutal, man.
Used to be the term used to be YouTube money. I used to have YouTube money. There is so little money in YouTube unless you are doing, like, Chris Fix. He does the car videos.
Oh yeah, he has so many cars now.
I've calculated it out with what he's doing, and Amazon links in the description. He could basically buy a goddamn $50,000 car a week and not have a problem just destroying it and selling it off. Well, because that's the sort of level you have to be at to make a living on YouTube.
I mean, here's the thing.
Otherwise, you're grab. That's why I'm selling speakers I bought on Amazon. Because I'm just trying to get that extra little bit. Well, Patreon helped a great deal.
Yeah, Patreon, Amazon.
All that stuff. We should talk about the new YouTube funding. What's it called? The one that's going to be directly.
Oh yeah, it's going to be just like Patreon, but on YouTube. I do want to say a point though.
What were you going to say, DMS?
I was going to say, like, even where I'm at, I have 8,350 subscribers. With Patreon, Amazon, all that stuff together right now, the channel pulls together like maybe $400 a month, but that's not profit. All that goes right back into the channel because I have to pay for shipping.
You guys are making me cry.
No, it's because shipping so many things is so freaking expensive every month. Between that and buying even cheap products to review, like little $20, $30 things to make videos on, all that stuff, I still spend as much, if not more, than I make off YouTube. It's not profitable even at that point.
2 years ago, I do my taxes, and I have an actual accountant who does write-offs for me because this is my business.
Right.
And I added up every USPS receipt, every UPS receipt, because every time someone sends me headphones, I pack them back up, I insure them to their full value and send them back because I am not going to be responsible for that.
Exactly. Same here.
I had in 1 year, and this was 2 years ago, $1,400 in shipping charges. This year, I'm going to quadruple that amount in shipping charges.
Yeah.
Because every yard sale, I'm paying for all of that. All the big speakers, headphones, fuel charges to go meet people. This is expensive.
Yeah, no,
I want me to review tower speakers. Like, are you high?
Drew Fletch, sorry. We all three of us do have Amazon affiliate links at the bottom of all of our videos, or most of them at least.
Yeah.
But the second thing was like my situation with YouTube right now is like I just pulled for total channel views. I know you guys are gonna scoff, but I'm small, okay? I just pulled over like 50,000 for total channel views, and I have not received a dime from YouTube. I have not made the total watch hours and the subscriber count that is needed to make anything off of YouTube now, which I find a little bit ridiculous because 50,000 views, it doesn't sound like a lot compared to like people who are getting literally billions nowadays. But that's a lot of traffic through the site. Like 5 years ago, if a website got 50,000 views in the amount of time I've had this YouTube channel, that was a lot of traffic.
That's true.
Right now, there's no reward for it.
Well, I mean, even then, it's like it really isn't much money. Even if you were able to monetize at this point, like here, I'm pulling up my analytics right now for revenue.
Right. No, I'm adding to your point. I'm not disagreeing with it.
I mean, I consider people tell me I have a successful YouTube page, and 5 solid years, I've never had like a spike. I had like one day where I had like 500 people subscribe at once. I don't remember what it even was. But I've had the very slow, consistent buildup of people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the money had gone from literally nothingness to finally this year was an amount that I could say, ooh, that's at least an amount of money. And it's not enough to live off of. Maybe in like, if you're living in a tent in South Dakota and you're eating out of a dumpster.
Are you just talking about YouTube money?
Just YouTube money.
Okay.
Just YouTube money, you can't do it. The Patreon is what pays my bills. The YouTube money is like, ooh, thank you. I'll put that in savings when it comes in. Because the Patreon pays my bills. And the Patreon buys, I look at all the stuff that I pick up and I'm like, all right, I'm not buying this. The patrons are buying it because they want me to review it. And the yard sales, when I can sell, if I buy something, I bought those Swan RM600 speakers, paid $470 for them. They sold just this month in a yard sale for about 60% of what I paid for them. And then I have to ship them. So I'm taking a huge loss on things like that. But I'm getting something back. It's better than keeping it on a shelf behind me. And I'd rather have that 40% back to put towards the next month than just have more speakers on the shelf behind me.
I actually got this pulled up too.
Try to keep the things I really like. What you got?
So, for example, Josh, this month, it's the 14th of March so far. Since the beginning of March, I have gotten a little bit over 200.
Wait. I don't think you're supposed to say exactly how much money you make from YouTube.
I'm not giving an exact amount, but just like I've gotten about 200,000 views so far in March, and I've roughly made $7. So, if I'm lucky, it'll be $14 by the end of the month, and about 400,000 or 500,000 views for that $14. About 400,000 or 500,000.
My God,
views.
man!
YouTube ad revenue is not a way to make money. And that goes back to it.
Actually, was it like 5 years ago? Does anybody know the numbers?
Yeah, okay. So like FouseyTubes, like you can love him or hate him, whatever. I hate him personally, but you can't deny like when he was popular, that was like the prime time for YouTube monetization.
Oh yeah,
and that guy made millions of dollars. Like he was making like $100,000 a week at some of his like more popular times. And I haven't talked to the dude, so I don't know exact numbers. This is just like the projections based off of ad revenues based off of when he was making those like really viral videos. But you can't do that now.
Well, a lot of people run ad block. That's actually a huge contributor to the loss in YouTube ad revenue is the number of people who use ad block now. A lot of people don't run ads.
Oh yeah, I literally will get itchy if I see.
Yeah, if I don't use ad block.
And I see it, I will install. And that's the reason why I'm okay. I'm okay with that because no one wants to see ads.
Yeah,
nobody wants to see ads.
Real quick, if you want to fuck with your friends, if they have Google Chrome, there's a Google Chrome extension that changes every single picture that they see on any website to a picture of Nicolas Cage.
That's brilliant. I need that.
It's the best way to fuck with someone.
Now we've really got a topic to talk about.
This is perfect.
Is Nicolas Cage a good actor? Yes or no? Ahmed, what do you think?
Good. Can you say someone is good based off the height of their career, or are you talking about?
No. There's an episode of Community.
Not the bees.
By the way, one of the greatest shows of the first 2 seasons. But where the question was asked and said, "Don't take it too seriously," and the character Abed, who takes everything too seriously for movies, literally lost his mind because his career is every other movie is fantastic, and then every other movie is the worst thing in history.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you try and steal the Declaration of Independence.
That was a decent movie. I thought Gone in 60 Seconds was an instant classic. And what was the one where he did with what's his name, with the guy with the chin?
Oh yeah, I know a human being with a chin.
No.
That must be me. I have a chin, right?
In Greece.
I'm just rubbing my face.
John Travolta.
Oh, Face Off.
Yeah. No, wait, was that?
Or the one with the plane with where they dropped the nuclear weapon in the desert. No, that was Christian Slater.
I think it was Face Off, but
it was Face Off.
Those were good. But like recently,
I just watched The Rock. I recently downloaded and watched The Rock. That is that's
a great
solid
movie.
I watched that movie
Connery?
knowing it was 1996. And that movie holds up to this moment, not from nostalgia, but because asshole director there, Bruckheimer, like it was a big exploding movie with a lot of wide angles, but it had characters in it I gave a shit about and a point. It made a fucking point.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. You need to make a point, have characters you actually enjoy, and you can do anything you want with the cinematography and direction.
Yeah.
Give them not stupid lines, have people died, you feel, and that's fine. So Nicolas Cage in that movie is probably I'm going to call that his best role because he was just so standard in it. Yeah. Unless you go into what was one where he was a convict. He was like, "Hey, I'm Billy Job. I'm going to go back to see my daughter." Con Air. Con Air was another great movie, a little over the top of parts, but still. Did we really just switch this podcast to a Nicolas Cage?
It always turns into something different.
Dude, you said that was the new topic.
The new topic is now Nicolas Cage in the Cage Cast.
Pretty good.
You know, actually, there is something I think we should bring up while we're on the subject of famous people, and that's obviously not a very bright topic, but it's what happened with the passing of Stephen Hawking.
Yes, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
I think possibly one of the greatest losses of our modern era. Just like, all right, who in the world could die and upset you the most? There's like who a celebrity, no, it's Stephen Hawking's.
Yeah.
He was given 2 years to live in 1964.
Yep. He was like 22 years old.
Yeah, he was literally the definition of will to live.
And you're going to be dead. It's 20 motherfucking 18. He checks out. And someone said he died on 3.14. And we got to figure out the time.
Yeah, he died on Pi Day.
159. He died on Pi Day. So that's...
In relation to that, there is in the description for the stream, if you want to donate to fighting ALS, there is a link there. So
and we don't profit
check it out
at all from it. Just so everybody knows.
I searched for this right before I started the stream and put the link there. So check it out, you guys. ALS is a pretty terrible condition, but Stephen Hawking has proven that someone with a will to live can accomplish incredible things regardless of their physical limitations.
I would say that's fair. That dude's mind was just one of the most incredible minds of this era. I don't think we'll see anybody quite his liking for many, many years.
Well, it wasn't just his accomplishments; it was the fact that what he accomplished despite everything else.
Yeah. Well, that alone is an accomplishment, like there's my old supervisor at my old job, his wife's father has ALS and he just gave up. Like he didn't try. He just, as soon as he found out, and of course it varies case to case, but mentally he gave up. He never fought against it. Whereas Hawking, fought until probably the day he died. And,
he didn't give a shit. He was like, you know what? Fuck it. And then he lived forever.
I was watching a Philip DeFranco video today, and he was talking about I can't remember the website, but he was, I guess Hawking was known somewhat for running over the toes of people that he didn't like.
Nice. Good aim.
So Billy D was talking about how he's like, this is a positive message because even with his condition, he was still able to find a way to fuck with people he didn't like.
It really is insane that he could keep his mental state stable while dealing with everything that he dealt with. I mean, being trapped in your body.
His psychology is hard to understand because he's a guy who has a mental capacity and mental ability that far exceeds all three of us.
Easily.
And most people in the rest of the world. So his thoughts on, like his self-reflection and his own disease, like I have no idea how he was able to deal with that, but I can't even begin to comprehend how he would have begun to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's I mean, if Neil deGrasse Tyson passed away, it would be a tragedy because he's so young.
Yeah.
But he's as much as he brings it, Stephen Hawking is like the legend.
And he's been on death's door for a long time. I mean, I saw a documentary.
Since 22, he's been on death's door.
Yeah, he was actually narrating his own documentary about his life. And he said that for most of his life, for over 2/3 of his lifetime, he has been on the brink of death. And it's greatly changed his perception of mortality. So he tries to live every single minute and every single second in the present and enjoy every breath he takes. Like he said that. Those were his direct words.
Quote. There was an amazing quote. Hold on, I'll read it to you. If I figure out where I put it, I think I know exactly where I put it. When people ask me if God created the universe, I tell them that the question itself makes no sense. Time didn't exist before the Big Bang, so there is no time for God to make the universe in. It's like asking directions to the edge of the Earth. The Earth is a sphere. It doesn't have an edge. So looking for it is a futile exercise. We are each free to believe what we want, and it is my view that the simplest explanation is there is no God. No one created our universe, no one directs our fate. This leads me to a profound realization. There is probably no heaven, and no afterlife either. We have this one life to appreciate the grand design of the universe, and for that I am extremely grateful. That's his best quote.
That's pretty
epic. He lays it out. He's like, look, we're all going to die.
Straightforward.
I can't, some other asshole would probably put it on a Nike commercial. Yo, live your life, dog. YOLO. No, that's how you do YOLO. He's just saying
appreciate what
properly.
we have, because you never know. I mean, there's no guarantee anything else is after this, so why look for that, and why not just enjoy what you have here?
Just go find happiness, whatever it takes.
Exactly.
I think one of the most impressive things about that is, like, it's easy to say, oh, enjoy this life while you have it, when you're stepping out of a Lamborghini with $200 shoes on. But when you're confined to a wheelchair every second
$200 shoes, only $800.
Okay, well, you said Nike commercial, so I was figuring like whatever. It doesn't matter. You get the point.
When headphones have a black hole.
Being able to say that when you're confined to a wheelchair, you can't even speak, you can't feed yourself. You have to have somebody clean out your excrement. Like, that's impressive. Having that willpower
absolutely
is beyond impressive.
Yeah, and to continue to take your
Jimmy Choos.
And continue to, travel and lecture people and try and continue to better a scientific community, even with your condition. It's a ridiculous amount of drive.
Yeah, totally.
So, he's literally like was the living definition of willpower.
Yeah, it's a weird fucking world we live in where Donald Trump is president and we lose Stephen Hawking. It's like, because I have a prop. I don't want to get political. We don't want to get political.
We're not going to get political.
We don't. But I got this strange feeling, because I go back to New York occasionally, and the Bronx has never been a nice place, but I get this itching feeling that when you were a kid, your parents told you could grow up to be the president, right? Everyone's parents have told them that, unless you had shitty parents, in which case, raise your hand, you have shitty parents. But it used to be you had to be like a good, solid citizen to strive for the ultimate thing.
Right.
And now he's a dick. No matter if you like him or not, you can't not call him a dickhead, and you can't call him an asshole. So now to be president have the greatest job in the world, you can be a dickhead and an asshole. And I could feel it. I could feel it in the world that they're like, oh, what the fuck? You know, we could, then I could do anything I want. And it's so bad. It's so bad.
I feel
that's the end of my.
Anyway,
that's the end of my little rant.
Because we're losing viewers based off of this little political thing. So audio, right? You guys like audio? I like audio.
Nah, I'm done with that. I quit that shit.
Done with that shit.
Middle of the stream, I'm done.
You know what, guys? I think I'm not an audiophile anymore. I'm done.
Honestly, here's the thing. I'm a videophile as much as I'm an audiophile. It's just really hard to be that on the internet. And I was actually contacted recently by BenQ to review one of their, like, they have a lamp that goes on your monitor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? You're BenQ? I'm going to say yes to review your lamp. And a week later, I guess someone checked my channel, and I was offered, like, computer monitors. Like,
what's a lamp? Oh, what do you mean lamp?
It's literally, I'll see if I can find a link to it.
It's actually pretty cool.
I sent it to you, right, DMS?
Yeah, you showed it to me. It's actually, like, insanely badass.
Does it, like, project onto the TV, or what's the deal?
No. That's the beauty part, Rich. Hold on. Did I link? Is this the right one? Yeah, here it is. I will post this to the Discord, and if you want to pop this in the actual main chat, you can. It's called the Screen Bar, and it looks like I actually have lights that look like this from IKEA, but it throws light over your monitor, but never hits the screen and never hits you in the face. It's just very directional.
Just down. Oh, okay.
It's very directional, and it's like 8 different color temperatures. I'm like, it's $100. It's not a cheap light.
Yeah.
It's like $100 light, and I'm like, you know what? If this was a random Chinese company, I would still say yes to it, because this is something I want. The fact that it's BenQ, I'm like,
decent reviews too.
It does. It's got amazing reviews. I can't wait to actually have it on my desk. And then I'm like, now they're probably sending me a couple monitors, and that's when my nipples really get hard. Because as much as I love hearing things, I have perfect vision, and I love calibrating colors by eye, which is bad. But my God, when you have all those settings and knobs, and you have to adjust the offset and the gain of each individual primary color, can you hear me? You feel
I actually hella have to admit, and I'm not even shitting you, yesterday I watched your entire 30-minute video on how to color calibrate monitors.
I made a 30-minute
my TV.
I don't think, did I do that?
Yeah.
I remember doing that.
I think it was pretty old. It was from your front room.
It was definitely an old video. But my projector, because thinking about projectors, the bulbs wear out.
It wasn't a projector.
No, it wasn't a projector, but every few months, your projector will look different from the few months previous. Right. And you have to basically start from scratch and adjust everything. And it's big adjustments. It's like 15% swings in brightness and contrast and color ratios. So I love when I realize, like, hey, something looks off, and I'll actually sit there with the test patterns and be like, all right, can I see the red versus the blue and I don't do it with a meter, because you're supposed to do it with a meter, but I enjoy dicking around for 3 hours with my remote control.
Right.
Until it looks perfect, because I know I get the contrast right, and you put on that movie that you know, and it's like, oh, movies are terrible, by the way. Every movie nowadays has a color gradient that completely different from everything else. There was a great video, I forget who did it. It might have been Every Frame a Painting, or it might have been, no, but it wasn't that. It was, they did it basically talking about the Marvel color scheme and how the colors are all muted in Marvel movies. And they showed a clip of a movie, and then they showed a clip of the movie that they color corrected, and they made all the colors pop, and they raised the contrast a little bit, and it looked like a superhero movie.
Marvel movies or
Marvel movies.
I don't think that they're desaturated at all.
I'll have to look this. Now I'm on a quest. You guys talk. I'm on a vision quest. I'll mute my microphone. So
a vision quest. All right. We haven't heard from you, DMS. So what do you want to talk about?
Oh, I'm actually typing a comment. 1 second.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay. There once was a man named John who. All right. Okay. I actually have a story now. And I told it on my channel. I'll tell it on this channel. Okay. So I went on this date with a girl that I met at Starbucks, and her name was Kieran, I think it was.
All lies. I'm calling lies in the story.
No, it's a real story. It's funny as fuck. So and it relates to audio. Truly, it does. So I went to the Starbucks that was by my house in the previous place that I lived, And we had kind of like flirted back and forth. And I finally gave her my number. She gave me a call. We met at the top of a parking garage. And it sounds weird, but at the town I was in, this parking garage was like the staple hangout for this like small old school looking town. And it was a drinking town, but this is back when I was like 18 or 19. She was underage too. So we didn't drink. So we just kind of walked around, right? And I'm shotgunning through the story just to get to the joke. So we're walking around and we're talking about what kind of music we like, just going over like all the basic, first date questions and all that stuff. And she asked me, what kind of music do you like? And I'm like, I love everything, like everything that you could want, everything from EDM to classical to orchestra, like it's all there. Rock, country, it's all available, right? And she's like, oh, cool. What's your favorite artist? Stuff like that, just the generic follow-up questions. Then I was like, okay, what kind of music do you like? She's like, she got hella quiet. She's like, I don't really want to tell you. I'm like, what?
Let me guess. The best thing a girl could ever tell you they like.
Let me guess. Shut the fuck up. Let me tell a story.
Top 40.
So she's like, okay, all right, I'll tell you, but just don't judge me. And I'm like, okay, whatever. She's like, no, promise me you won't judge me. And she's like, I like EDM. And I'm like, okay, why would I judge you? And she's like, well, every time I tell somebody that, they always assume that I go to raves and I do like LSD and stuff and hella drugs at the raves. And it's just really annoying to deal with everybody like that.
I love that it wasn't drugs. I love that it was hella drugs.
So I asked her, I'm like, so do you do that? Just out of curiosity. And she's like, well, yeah, but that's not the point.
Bruh.
Well, yeah, of course I do. I listen to EDM.
Jesus Christ.
That's hold on. I have to. But does she shit hard?
Where is this gone? Oh no.
Well, actually, no. All right, we can do an entire fucking podcast on, does drug addiction relate to the genres of music you listen to? Boom.
Yes. Okay. I will tell you one thing.
We will do hardcore rap and hip hop and see if crack and marijuana are more prevalent in those communities.
But Pink Floyd sounds 100 times better when you're stoned out of your mind.
Well, that's like all music ever forever. But the thing is like I listen to a lot of electronic music and I don't, trip balls at raves and shit like that. That's not my thing.
But you grab dicks.
I think Elias just gave you money.
You have to.
I got $5.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Forward that Marvel link I put into the Discord to the group because I couldn't do it. Because you're bad.
Cheers from Canada.
Rights.
Yo.
Anyways.
I actually have family up in Canada. Fun fact.
Really? Where?
Toronto.
Where? Toronto's a big place.
I mean, I get that.
Okay, no. See, here's the problem is that they didn't oversaturate anything. What they did was they added what used to be a really popular filming style, which is where you set themes. I mean, it still is semi-popular, but it used to be more popular, where they put a red overlay or a green overlay over the entire.
Well, the Matrix did that.
Matrix did the green.
Matrix did but they had to.
They did the blue and the green.
You were blue in the real world and green in the Matrix.
Right.
Or it was the opposite. Yeah, no, it was green in the Matrix.
A slightly red overlay makes everything look quote unquote more cinematic. And like in the early, I want to say 85 to 90s, they started realizing that the movies look better and the colors pop more if they put a slightly red overlay. So that's basically what this editor did.
Here's the thing. With this Marvel thing, they talk about Guardians of the Galaxy would look better if you did this to it. So I run Media Player Classic Home Cinema. And if I set it just the right, I can adjust on the fly the brightness, contrast, saturation, and one other aspect. Like literally change it as it's playing. Right. And I did the change. Mm-hmm. And holy crap, did the movie look insanely more vivid. I mean, I'm a huge color freak, so I know what neutral looks like and I know what it should look like. First thing I do on anyone's TV in anyone's house I go to, and I apologize in advance, is I will walk up to their TV, I'll find the remote, and I'll set their color from 50 to 35 because that's the magic number.
Hey, that link you sent me, can you send it to me on Telegram? Because I can't open Discord for some reason because I'm capturing.
Totally can.
And you said you want that in the stream because I'll post it in the stream.
That's the why do Marvel movies look kind of ugly. That's that little thing. So yeah, but basically, what were we just talking about? I've lost my entire mind.
Colors.
Yeah, movies do look cheesy at 60 frames per second. That was one of the biggest problems I had with The Hobbit. They didn't do 60.
That was 48.
Yeah, they did 48.
23.9 or nothing, please. Sorry.
Yeah, that's where it's at, man. 24 frames per second.
That's another thing we could talk about is the ruination of America from high frame rate television. And then being set on from factory. Because
I think for gaming, high frame rates, totally awesome. Movies, shows,
I'll even do sports.
Yeah.
I'll even do sports. I've watched hockey games in amazement. I don't even like fucking hockey.
Anything cinematic,
though. Slide, and it's like, oh. But as soon as you put on like a soap opera, a Spanish soap opera, and you're getting 30 FPS, you put on a fucking Hollywood blockbuster, and it's in that mode, it looks like a Spanish soap opera.
Yeah.
And the thing is, children are growing up and their parents are retarded or at least incapable of understanding what's going on with their television.
This is us just being bigots to the new age, by the way.
Yes. Fuck anyone who doesn't have a working job and they're actually enjoying school and life. But
I think 24 will stay in frame in the movie industry for a while until we move to a better format. And by better format, I mean things that no longer play in frames.
Well, here's the thing. It's even as somebody who works in film and in cinema, 23.976 FPS both is and I think will be the standard for a while, because as it is, I mean, 4K is becoming very common for entertainment formats that are being delivered, but a lot of these movies, things that get published, to 4K Blu-ray and all that, the master files when these are sent out is very high bitrate 1080p. And when we have to scale up something for 4K Blu-ray, it's literally scaled up from a lossless 1080p file. Like across the board, industry standard delivery method is 23.976 frames per second, high bitrate 1080p, which looks just about as good as 4K. Definitely better than YouTube 4K just because of its bitrate.
Yeah, I think it depends on who's filming and what they're filming with, though.
I mean, even if we shoot on on like an 8K Red, the Red Epic W, and it looks great at 1080p.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it does. I mean, the codec for a Red camera at 1080p is going to be infinitely better than like an iPhone at 1080p.
I mean, look, it all depends on what's in the homes. Here's the deal: when I got my first projector, it was a 1024 by 768. All right, I was running a business projector on a little screen I made out of like spandex and sticks. And when I had that, when I downloaded movies, which was the thing you did back in the day, I was getting 720p rips because I didn't need anything else. Hell, I wasn't even getting 720p because they were all 235:1 and I was shrinking it down. When I finally got my Epson and it was a 1080p projector, it was time to upgrade my formats. And okay, so I love this movie, get this one in 1080. I love this one, get this one in 1080. And now that I actually am sitting right now in front of a 40-inch 4K, I don't watch movies on this. I could watch a 4K movie on this, but I'd rather still watch it on a 1080p 100-inch projection screen. So unless I got a 4K projector, which are still not quite there yet, they're not real 4K. They're all doing this lens bounce where they take a 1080p source or a 1080p mirrored, and they just bounce it around 4 times in a rectangle. And all of a sudden now you have 240 hertz shining in different areas, making 4K. And even I don't know if I'd appreciate the extra detail unless I was you'd have to have a 100-inch screen. You'd have to get close. When I reviewed this 4K monitor, because that's one of the reasons I think BenQ is asking me to do, because I reviewed this and I said, look, 4K is fantastic in one very specific scenario.
Yeah.
I see people get 50-inch, 60-inch 4K televisions and sit 15 feet away. Guess what?
I think if you
can't fucking tell.
If you have a good 4K DVD, or not DVD, but Blu-ray player or whatever your 4K player is, and a 4K disc and a 4K TV that's not upscaled or upsampled or whatever the fuck they call it, it's really awesome. The problem is that, like, because I have like a 4K 65-inch TV and I want to say it's like 9.5 or 10 feet away where my head is, right? If I watch a YouTube video at 4K, it looks like a movie in terms of quality. It looks like a 1080p movie.
I would never judge anything off of anything YouTube streaming does.
Also, real quick,
I'm just saying, like, in a lot of applications, the quality doesn't match up to what you think you're actually getting.
There was a question for you in the comments. Let me go back to that.
Why are you so gay?
Is that the MMGs? Oh, there we go. Z, have you ever considered reviewing Magnapan MMGs? Or is that MMG
I get that
or
question I'd say once a month, maybe twice a month. And Magnapans is something I'd love to try. And the problem is people want me to go and take advantage of like the 30-day home trial. And I will not do that for any product.
Well, here's what you should do.
To review it and then throw it back in the box and say, nah, I don't want it. I would rather contact them and get it. However, my life is a goddamn world of boxes right now. And to move my living room in such a way that Magnapans would function in it will require me moving lots of things to places I don't want them to go.
I've actually got a deal for you.
Go ahead.
I have some Magnapans.
How big?
About 6 feet tall and 2.5 feet wide.
Wonderful. I can't wait to not have those in my apartment.
I was going to say, I will drive them up there if I can eat some of the crazy dank food you cook on your cooking stream. Because it's probably better than anything I'm going to eat in the next
dankest. It's only the dankest.
There's the deal. I'll leave my Magnapans with you for like 6 months or something.
No, I don't want them for 6 months. Those would be like a 1 week review.
After you hear them, you'll want them for that long.
That's the problem. I can't. Here's the crux of being a headphone speaker reviewer. I can no longer afford to fall in love with things. I love those. I'm pointing around the room at things. But here's the thing. I can keep them. I bought them with their money. I can keep them. I have to let them go. I have to look at them and go, you will find a new home, baby, and I will find something new next month.
Let it go. Let it go.
I will give something a dick-sucking review when I get it, think I'm going to sell it, and then don't. Because I want it out of the house. And also, SVS contacted me, and they're like, hey, we got this new line of subwoofers. And if you know anything about me and subwoofers from SVS, it's like, well, that's great. Now I got to keep the box somewhere. And in this case, they want to offer me the tube subwoofer. The I forget what the model number is. PC, PT, whatever, 13S. I don't know the number of it. I forgot. But I jokingly mentioned in the email, I'd like to see what it sounds like with a pair of those. And he got back to me. He's like, yeah, we could probably get 2 of those. And I'm just like,
yeah, like the PB16 Ultras, or I'm using the SB1000 still, and it's just...
Please be joke, because I'm going to have... It's at least the tubes are lighter than the one subwoofer, the big boxes, and I would probably have to replace where I have those Infinity subs and amps in my living room. But I would love to... That would be an amazing review, having 2 of those sons of bitches standing in my living room. But I'd have to make the review.
Yeah, it'd be an amazing review for people who live like 5 doors down from you. Seriously.
Honestly, I don't think the PB16 Ultra will be beaten by a pair of... PB16 Ultra was 5,000 watt peak. You could tell.
Here's the thing. They're going to send me an Ultra at some point, but I don't think my apartment can handle it. My apartment can't handle a PB1000 sealed 10-inch.
That was another thing. When I moved, one of the reasons that I moved out to this apartment is because, I was doing it in that little tiny room, and I was already being contacted by PSA Audio. I was in a 8x9 room. It was a storage room at my grandparents' house in the Bronx. And I was like, guess what? Sending me like 45-pound each, 10-inch. I cannot do them. So I put them off for like 5 months while I moved out. Then I said, okay, now send them in. And I remember my roommate was here. Like, yeah, guess what? We got these now for a little bit. So I think I need a bigger room to do like crazy subwoofer reviews.
Yeah.
But at least I know how it handles it because I've been through 7 or 8 of them at this point. And I'm looking forward to this review, but I may accelerate the process. Because usually it's like, I got a $2,500 SVS sub, free of charge for 3 months. But I have to deal with the box, and I got to deal with my other sub that's now is not going to be in its place. I got to get rid of that Dayton sub that I modified and built to my friend, but I got to re-review the second thing. I'm currently in a frantic panic to sell all the Yamos, get the Dayton Ultimax I sold to my friend. I love the Dayton Ultimax. I do. I built it with my bare hands. So I didn't wear gloves.
I mean, I'm out of space too. SVS hasn't asked for this stuff back, and I'm like, well, where am I going to put it?
give it back to them. They're not going
you
to
know how
keep
heavy.
But
You know how heavy this stuff is.
Yeah, I know.
I'm waiting on a return label.
Well, then literally say, "Come get this shit."
I've emailed them about getting a return label. Like
this is why I don't have MagnaPans in my fucking house because
and you can't ship those. Good. It will destroy them.
No, you can't. It's got. I don't know how do they even deliver them when
you can't ship them. You have to like take them in like a padded van, and you have to be very careful about bumps. And you can't put them near windows because if they get exposed to sunlight, it will destroy them.
What?
Oh, great. Well, I only have windows. I literally only have fucking windows.
You gotta board up your windows.
I can't review MagnaPans. Actually, I have really cheap $8 blow-up mattresses that perfectly fit the space of my windows.
There you go. That's your solution.
I was gonna have my friend return, but I had them blown up for guests, and I shoved it in the window one day, and I'm like, holy crap. I would like to build full blackout curtains that like are remote controlled, so I can yell at Amazon lady here and have them put down the blackout shades and just completely black out my apartment. Well, I don't really do. I can't do much movie watching during the day because the businesses are open and I will go to prison. But yeah, that's my life. Is that game you play where there's one space in the puzzle and you got to move everything around till it fits in that with that one space only. That's my life.
No,
so I'm
relate.
Trying to sell some of those little chiclets on the yard sales. Please buy things. When I
live in like a 750 square foot apartment with 2 other people.
I think I'm around 750 square feet alone with a cat, but I've got lots of stuff.
Jeez, you guys have small ass apartments.
Yeah.
Welcome to real. I live in a real city, or I live right outside a real city. I don't know what DMS's problem is. He lives in Schittsburg.
Did you
ever North Carolina? Yep.
This is the best comment. Do you see that? I've been subbed to DMS, Metal 571, and Zeos for years now. All I'm going to say is that you guys inspired me to empty my wallet for headphones.
Oh, I get that all the time. I get the I hate yous. I get the I hate you because I bought this. And you know what? It's your own fault. I'll subscribe for me.
I can relate. I've emptied my wallet into this channel.
There have been college students who have come to my channel and be like, oh man, I've been eating ramen for 6 weeks because, I want to buy these. I just say leave. Leave now. Just don't. Because it doesn't get cheaper as you go.
It gets more and more expensive.
I try to keep finding cheap deals, but there's only so many sub $100 headphones that I could recommend. And then you have to go up, and you can't. And I find good ones. So it's not like you can go from some people have been asking me like, I have $100 budget to get this, or should I spend $125 to get this? And I'm like, that isn't a range. You got a $100 headphone, the next headphone's $250, and the next headphone after that is like $600. And the next headphone after that, you're talking about plus $1,000. Usually, because if I'm recommending a $600 headphone, odds are it's a really good one. And to beat it, you have to either one completely different and just say the same amount of money, or you got to go up. And up's the problem. I don't like up. I like doing a review and having 300 people come back and say, I bought this headphone. Not 4 that say, oh yes, this is definitely the finest of the quality headphones that I've spent 15 or 8. Like when I review the
one of the things is nothing is perfect. There's no perfect audio product.
Did I buy the what?
Etherflows?
I bought the Etherflows. They sent to me, and I bought them from them.
So those are like $1,700 bucks,
$1,800, but I got a damaged pair. So like, all right, we'll cut you a deal. So I'm like, yeah, cool. Damaged. I don't give a fuck. Yes, I pissed on them too. So lower the price. I would have smashed them into pieces and taken a picture, but like, can you lower? But and then I broke them on stream. So there you go. Probably why I paid less.
What you're saying is I need to hit up Bear Dynamic and be like, these DT 1990s, I accidentally smashed them into a million pieces. Please give them to me cheaper.
Gang members came in and tagged
I want them so bad. I want these headphones so bad.
You could probably go, they're good. Here's the thing. I love the 1990s, and I swear if I started a recording studio, every console would have 1990s at it.
If I could afford these, I would daily drive them. There's no way I'm going to be able to afford these before Bayer wants them back.
Just what you do is you hire assassins, kill everyone that works for Bear Dynamic.
I know. I want them to make more amazing headphones.
I guess you could. Fine, bitch.
I mean, they're sending me some other ones too, which is nice. Like I'm gonna check those out, but I just like one day I have to get some of these DT 1990s. I know they'd probably hook me up with like an okay discount on these because they're like opened now. They're open box, but like
that's the thing. That's another thing that companies will send you something like the Rhythmic sub, my Rhythmic sub, $900 sub they sent me.
Yeah.
What do you think that cost them to build? if we go by my argument about business sense.
It probably cost them $300 to build.
$250, $300.
Yeah.
And then they shipped it to me, probably for a cost to them of about $100.
Yeah.
So now, okay, this $900 sub is now an officially used subwoofer. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm like, do you want it back? Or I'd say, you want me to send it back? And they're like, look, we'll offer it to you for this amount of money. And I'm like, okay, that's reasonable, because A, they don't have to deal with a used sub that they have to ship again, saving them $100 in shipping. It's used, so they're losing $100, $200 on the actual overall cost. It's cheaper just to leave it here. It's cheaper to abandon it, put it in your budget for advertising, and let it go. And that's what they do. They're like, all right, how about this? How about we send you a 12-inch sub in the future, and you just hold on to that until then? I'm like, yes. So a 12, I'm still waiting for that Rhythmic 12, because that's actually, Rhythmic contacted me and was like, hey, we have an 18-inch sub. So now I have Rhythmic, who's offering me an 18-inch 900-watt servo sub, which I think is going to be a monster. And SVS offering me a pair of their tubes. And I'm like, guess what I don't have? The space. Just for the box. Just for the box. I can fit the subwoofers. I have 3 refrigerators that come with them that are big empty boxes that usually the packing material can't be like taken. The last SVS sub, I got incredibly lucky that the packing material was flat, and I was able to fold the box, take the packing material out, shove it all under my couch. I didn't see it. It was great. But I don't think that's going to work for every subwoofer I get. And holding on to that in like my bedroom. Has anyone seen my bedroom on a live stream? My bedroom looks like the fucking warehouse from the end of the first Indiana Jones. Because it's every box I might need to ship something from a yard, and any box that people send to me with good packing material, and any box for things I'm going to sell. It's, you walk in there and it's stacked to the ceiling.
Are you planning on moving out anytime soon?
No. I love this spot. It's too good, and the next time I move will be to a house. It'll have to be a house with a garage and a yard I can wash my car in, because I'm tired of having to search around for goddamn touchless car washes. I love my car, and I love my privacy, and I love looking out my window and having like people doing things. There's a bar right across the street. I grew up in New York. I grew up where it was noisy, and I can't do country quiet. I can't. I need just like a taste of like activity. I get freaked out if it's really quiet outside. I'm like, that's when my head plays games with me. If I hear a noise right now outside, I know what it is. It's the bar, or it's a guy parking, or it's someone throwing up. It's life. When I hear nothing. I stayed at a lake in Canada 2 years ago. My friend has a cabin by a lake. And let me tell you, that fucking window was wide open, and I looked at it, and nothing was coming in. And it was just like, it was like I was staring into the void of death. And I had the worst nightmares. And I thought someone was touching me. And it could have very well been his uncle, but I don't think he's that quiet. But yeah, no, I was having like sleep paralysis nightmare shit. I ended up turning on the lights and just playing
music. Ever?
I camp out at Lime Rock Park, which is, by the way, one of the greatest experiences of your life. I've camp out at a racetrack.
To some places that are like, they're literally in the middle of nowhere. Ugh. And you can't hear, like, there's nothing except the occasional, like, crackle of a twig or something. And that freaks you out a little bit when you're not used to it. Like, after you've been there for 2 or 3 nights, you're like, all right, cool. Like, I can start to sleep now.
I think if someone said, hey, we're going camping, Zeos would take a good chunk of the Patreon money and invest in like all the shit that spies have, infrared sonic detectors and fucking tripwires. I would camp and sleep like a baby, because I know if anything violates the perimeter, I would know about it, like Predator. I would have that sort of like, yeah, I'll camp, motherfucker. I'll fucking camp.
Like automatic turrets and shit.
Just yeah, like I would have I would build a goddamn turret from Portal, and it would sit outside cracking jokes at the wildlife. It would make me feel so much.
Or you could just do the simple thing of getting a dog.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a dog. It would be a trained pack of wolves.
Train your dog to have a robot Portal voice.
Wolves that I didn't really know. I love dogs. But I'm
allergic, so I can't. I can have dogs, but I'll usually end up scratching my eyeballs out of my head in 4 hours.
So I guess when they have scenes in movies where they have like a wolf like growling or something, I never knew this about training, and we like trained our dogs and stuff like that. Anyways, but I guess they almost always save those angry scenes for the of the wolf for the end of that day in filming. And I guess it's because when they get in that mood, and because basically what they do is they like feed them and then they take their food away from them and they get all aggressive. I guess once they get angry, like they fucking stay angry. And so they do it at the very end of the day. It's like the last shot that they do with the dog, so they can just lock them up, take them away, and let them cool down for like 12 hours. So they're not still in that like defensive mode. And I think that's one of the things that, and this is totally off topic, but a lot of
everything's
people are talking
off
about
topic
like,
for this episode.
Yeah, the off topic podcast.
Yeah, this is episode 6 is the off topic episode. We're getting it out of our system.
Can you check Tangent Cast? I'm pretty sure we just a tangent. We're just.
How long have we been going, by the way?
Actually, we've been going an hour and a half, so we probably should wrap it up relatively soon.
What gives you that impression? What gives
also,
you that impression?
Scott says that he said, I thought Clear was my endgame. Ordering OTOR now. OTOR is just.
I will say OTOR was one of the best things I heard at Can Jam. It was definitely, I put it on and they had the neutral pads on. I tried the other one with the not neutral pads with the bassy cans, and I was like, ooh, it lost its magic immediately.
This is this is my opinion, so I can't speak for Josh and Z, but I think that OTOR has everything that Focal is missing.
Haven't heard either one of them, so I don't have
everything what the Focal was missing. Who
I think
about the Focal.
Focal
has very specific. Everyone sucks.
It's like the HP600 or HP800.
The Focal Lear was.
I can't listen to them. I put Lear on for about 3 minutes the other day, and then I took it off angrily. It took a long time for me to understand the Lears. That's what it comes down to with me. I just need to understand who is listening to this. What is the benefit? Because I can hear them with my ears, usually. And it came down to the fact it's like, okay, these are weird. I'm okay with weird. I like weird. Weird is good. Well, the thing is they have...
Nighthawks are weird. Exactly. Nighthawks were the first headphone that I listened to.
But they're good, man. They're good.
That I said, you know what? You buy these if you're bored with headphones.
The thing that makes Focal weird...
are a higher-end version of that sort of weird.
Yeah, the thing that makes them weird is the amount of stuff that's missing. There's such massive dips in the mid-range and in the treble.
See, again, I don't look at measurements.
That's
ever,
fair.
Yeah. Because
that's just like explaining, though.
That's a horsepower chart and going, well, the mid-range torque is going to be bad in this car. Let's not even drive it. No.
I mean, everything's worth listening to.
Well, what were the headphones that you measured? The 1990s. These are
they measure really weird. Wrong. But here's the thing. Measurements aren't always a way to gauge, the measurements are bad, so these are bad. But if something sounds really weird or sounds bad, it's like, okay, why does this sound the way it sounds? You look at the measurements and you're like, this makes sense.
Measurements can't tell you what the sound stage on a headphone is going to be.
No, they can't tell you how accurate the
imaging is.
They can't tell you what the weight. They can't tell you if the drivers are slightly forward on your ears or angled.
I agree. But it can't explain.
That I've noticed that certain headphones do, especially like the Nighthawks, is that there's like actual pressure on your ears when it's playing music. Like it has like a force behind the driver.
That has to do with it being like almost closed, like almost giving you the seashell.
Well, even compared to like some really close to closed headphones or fully closed, like there's just a pressure on it. The Fostex C50RPs kind of have the same thing going for them too, where there's a pressure, but like that's something that I pay attention to. But a response graph cannot tell me that.
No, response graphs can't tell you everything, but they will help paint a bigger picture.
I mean,
they tell like 5% of the whole story for sound.
I would say more than that. I'd say that
expensive fuck you to graphs was the advanced alphas, because if you go to the advanced alpha post on Massdrop and you scroll down, they look beautiful. They $450. Ooh. Then you see the response graph, and even I was like, why did you publish that? There is a 12 decibel spike at 7,000 on their response graph they posted. And that's why their limit for like how many people need to buy this for the drop is 3.
Yeah.
I literally went to the comments and went, why just don't post this? Let people figure it out. Because I've got them right there. I drove my car with those playing because they also need power and I had a little. I drove my car with those on because my car's stereo sucks, so I have to put speakers in the back, and I was like, fuck it. I'm a headphone reviewer. I have a card. I'll just tell the cop I was testing headphones. But they're open, giant planars, and I was able to hear the car and whatever. The point is, I drove with those on my head for 5 hours, and I analyzed them thoroughly. And there is a little bit more treble than you'd maybe want. A little bit. Not 12 decibels worth, but certainly when I was gaming with either those or the ethers or the 1060Cs, I was preferring those in lots of games. Because of the just everything is like, hey, you want some fucking detail, buddy? I got you. And they just scream it in your ears.
I just like I smelled your breath through my headphones, basically.
Yeah,
just now.
They are just.
Did you really have to pick cheese curds for dinner, man?
Actually, no shit. Quaker's steak and lube out by Fights. I had a slight argument with my friend because he's like, mozzarella stick.
My buddies in Jersey talk about that place all the time.
On the menu. There's cheese curds on the menu. Like, do you understand that there? He's like, no, I don't like cheese curds. Mozzarella sticks are better. And I had like a fucking freak out. And then the woman came to take our order and said, excuse me, ma'am. Mozzarella sticks or cheese curds, what do you prefer? And she put on the sassiest like waitress, like, cheese curds, obviously. And I like slammed the table and I put my finger in his face when fucking told you. And we got both because I was paying. And sure enough, fucking cheese curds were god great. So yeah, you probably do smell cheese curds on my breath. Anyway.
There you go. No, my buddies in Jersey talk about that place all the time. We're always off topic. When are we on topic?
We had it.
Honestly, I don't even know if we should talk about because we try and we fail.
Cheese curds need gravy and fries. You're talking about poutine, buddy. I've had poutine.
Talking about?
I've had poutine. I've had actual Canadian poutine from Smokes in Toronto, and it was good, but the person I was with had the vegetarian one, and they had 15 times the curds on it than my pulled pork, and the vegetarian gravy was better. So if you're going to go to Smokes and get... By the way, I also figured out there's a Smokes poutine house in Philly, 9 miles from me.
There's actually a place called Biscuit Bitch in Seattle. It's right by the original...
There it goes.
It's right by the original Pike's Place. And if you're ever in the Seattle area, I would stop there because they have some amazing like scrambles. And they do lots of, they have like gravy and hash browns and biscuits, and it's all like scrambled together. And they give you like a ton of food. And it's all, I mean, it's a little bit feminist, but it's all run by chicks. Like that's the whole deal. It's like it's a, biscuit bitch shop or whatever. Make some decent coffee too.
Actually, on the subject of amazing food, I've told you about this before, Z. We went to that place in New York, the what was it, the Korean chicken place?
Oh, Banchan.
Yes, that was amazing. But you got to try. I'm telling you, if you ever wander through this area, you have to go to Rocky's Hot Chicken. Absolutely insane. I eat it way too often. It's so stupidly good. They're the biggest chicken strips, the biggest tenders I've ever seen in my life. And the sauces that they toss them in are just absolutely phenomenal. And you get them with bottomless ranch. You just get infinite refills on your ranch.
I'm pretty sure no one's fucking health insurance wants to ever hear the statement bottomless ranch.
I don't have health insurance, so there you go.
Like, why does health insurance cost so much in America? One place in this one spot serves bottomless ranch.
Well, actually, and their hottest sauce, I want to say, has ghost pepper extract in it too.
Oh Jesus! Just get some capsaicin.
No, my roommate ate there.
Fuck with the pepper. Just get the fucking.
Back to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Okay.
The last night we were there, my friend who's into spicy food, sushi's into spicy foods. He was like, all right, you got this like triple atomic. Yeah, give me half of the boneless wings in that. I don't know why I got boneless wings. It just was his preference for that night. So I wanted to try it, but didn't want to try the actual wings, which are soaked in it.
Dude,
so
boneless wings are the best.
Shut up, you're an asshole.
I like boneless wings too.
Think about it. It's like it's an efficiency of eating. It's like I just want to shove it in my face hole.
You don't get the cartilage. You don't get the fucking the bits that are on the bone, which are the best part.
I just want to stuff my face with chicken.
I agree with you, but like I just want to eat the fuck out of it, and I hate working for my food.
No, I will work for I need to work for my food. My food needs to be 270% harder to eat. I'd lose some weight. But the point is,
like Kraft mac and cheese. I'm not kidding you. I don't think I've ever chewed Kraft mac and cheese. I swallow it like it's a drink.
Well, no, here I will agree with you on that. I will agree with you on that. However, I always add way too much milk to my Kraft mac and cheese, so I can literally drink it like soup. Just
you both have some serious mental problems.
Yeah, duh.
I drink my mac and cheese.
I think I know what I'm talking. But basically, what it comes down to is cheese curds are the best, and hot stuff.
Super good, yeah.
I'm okay with hot stuff. I did the one chip challenge at MagFest at the beginning of the year. Anyone in chat done the one chip challenge? You guys?
We'll see what people say. I will touch up on Rocky's Hot Chicken though. I mean, obviously everybody in my apartment's gone there, but my roommate, he went there with us and had their hottest sauce. And it was so hot. He said it's incredibly flavorful. It's not just pure heat. He said it's delicious. It was so hot that it opened up sores on his tongue while he was eating it. It like created, it made welts come up and then they opened.
Wonderful. The one chip challenge. I'm assuming neither one of you have done it.
No.
Have you seen what it is? Do you know what it is? You know what it is?
No idea.
They sell in a little cardboard coffin in a foil package, one chip. One Dorito, basically, covered in powdered death pepper, whatever the fucking whatever the hottest pepper is.
I think it's like the hottest pepper is. Reaper X or whatever it's called.
The Reaper. It's a Reaper. Yeah. It's Reaper dust. So there's a Dorito in a sealed package in a little coffin in Reaper dust. I think my friend paid like $4 each.
Jesus.
He bought a case of them. He bought a fucking case of like 36 of these because he hates everyone. I don't know. The point, and this is Sushi, by the way, the one who likes hot food. We were at MagFest. We were in a hotel, and we were like, should we do the one challenge at MagFest in like the main hotel? Because we didn't have rooms in the hotel. We had rooms somewhere else. Like, should we go there and do it? And we had agreed that it's probably better. We had 2 rooms. We had 2 bathrooms. We had access to milk. We had access to water. We had beds. We had, let's do it here the second morning. So my brother shows up. He has stomach problems, so he was going to only do half a chip. But I was doing a full chip. My friend was doing a full chip. I think there was 4 of it. Cheese. Everyone knows Cheese from my stream. Cheese did a full chip, and the other half of my brother's chip.
Jesus Christ.
And their theory was, all right, don't touch the chip. Just take the packet and just pour it in your mouth.
Oh, damn, no.
That was not my theory. I love to be a little bit smarter than everyone around me, just a little bit. So like, all right, no, I'm going to touch the chip. I'm going to take it out of the packet, leave whatever dust is in the packet behind, and I'm just going to bang the chip on the box just a little bit. Let me tell you, I banged that chip in the box. 25% of the dust came off. I had a chip. I put that motherfucker in my mouth. And the thing is, you have to put it all in your mouth. You can't. Hot food, sometimes you can nibble it at the front. A chip, one chip, you're not going to start biting it. You're just going to put the whole thing in your mouth. It touches your tongue. You break it against the roof of your mouth. You start chewing for, I'd say, no less than 15 minutes.
Chew for 15 minutes?
No. You swallowed it immediately.
Oh, okay.
Then I started eating Fritos. Then we got to the milk. And it didn't matter what you did. For 15 minutes, I would have sworn to God someone had a pair of pliers squeezing my tongue. Yeah. It wasn't pain like, oh, this is hot. It was a physical, it was either muscle spasms or just nerve damage occurring.
My aunt had this bottle that had like a warning label on it, and it was like a large pill case size, and then inside of it was like a legitimate like orange case with the white top pill case, and it had a warning label on it. And inside of that second pill case was no, I'm just kidding. It was a eyedropper of 99% capsaicin.
Oh yeah, no.
Jesus.
And no. She said that like when she makes big stews for everybody.
Yeah, no, that's what it's
she's
for.
Mexican. Yeah.
That's she's like, I put pure capsaicin so you could spice like 30 gallons of soup with 3 drops.
She was like, no, she would put 1 drop in like a 30-gallon thing of soup in like the big, I don't know if it was 30 gallons, but like
when I was at Rockland's Barbecue down in DC, they had a bunch of sauces at front, like a bunch of hot sauces. And I'm like, I collect hot sauces. I like good flavor hot sauces. They're hard to find. Right. So before I left, I bought a couple, and I asked the guy who worked there, what's the hottest sauce you have? And he said, this one. He didn't even think. He said, toxic waste. And I took the toxic waste, and it's a terribly garbage-looking fucking thing. And I turned around and read the ingredients to see what pepper's in it. And there were hot peppers in it, but like the fourth ingredient was just capsaicin.
Oh, fuck.
Just capsaicin.
Fuck
it wasn't like, oh, it's peppers. No, they just cheated and put the fucking extract in it.
Oh,
and I have not opened it, and I have not tasted it.
For anybody who doesn't realize why that's important, the way that ingredients lists work is they list it in quantity. So the most amount of quantity you have is your first ingredient, and then it just goes down from there.
There was only like 7 ingredients, but it was not at the very bottom.
You know, speaking
and you're not
of
supposed
that,
to do that. That's cheating. That's fucking cheating.
Have you guys tried the hot one sauces?
I do. I have the Last Dab.
How good is it?
I should have bought the cheap one and the Last Dab. I should have bought the middle one and the Last Dab.
I heard the middle one's amazing.
I kick myself. I should go back and buy it now. Who cares? I bought myself a bottle and Sushi a bottle because he's a hot sauce fan. He actually didn't watch. He didn't used to watch hot ones, and I got him watching it.
What do you think of the Last Dab?
We did the Last Dab. I was in his apartment. We just finished the Super Bowl. The fucking Eagles won. Top of the world. Let's fucking try the Last Dab. We put a little dab on the plate. We spread it out like a goddamn painter that's running out of paint across like 5 inches. I took a little piece of, I don't even remember what the actual thing was, but I rubbed against it. It was like, it couldn't, if it was an eighth of a drop, it's what it was. Put it in my mouth. I chewed it. I didn't die, but it was good flavor, good heat. But if you covered a wing in it,
dead.
You'd be fucked. You'd be very fucked. 2 million Scoville units is not a joke.
Hashtag fucked.
Yeah, what's the guy's name? Sean.
Units.
Sean has got to be like, he's got to be suffering, man. His shits have got to be really bad at this point.
He's gonna die in 3 years. He's just gonna die.
I'm pretty sure by this point his insides have just liquefied.
Blood.
That's probably
blood's never coming out of his ass again. Just only
it's probably
blood.
The equivalent to, like, in terms of internal damage, to just straight up drinking bleach.
You'd be better off being addicted to heroin.
Yeah. You could
stop
basically
doing heroin, but this is like, oh my. The hottest thing that I had ever eaten before getting into hot sauces, there was an Italian deli in Yonkers where I grew up. Mr. Cold Cuts used to make their own hot peppers, and they'd vary. And I'm going to say they vary from edible to fuck you, I'm suing you. That was the range.
That's fair.
And I went there with my cousin before he drove out to in Pennsylvania because that's completely. But we got sandwiches and I'm like, yeah, put some hot peppers on them. He likes hot peppers. So we get up there, we do our thing, we go to stop to eat our lunch because we brought it up there. We take a bite. We stopped taking a bite, and I proceed to watch me and my cousin. And we're foodies. We don't like taking things off a sandwich. We took every pepper off and threw them out the fucking window. And it didn't help because they were at the bottom where the bread was. Bread. They've been sitting on that bread for like 4 hours. And it was just like, I don't know if any of you in the chat want enough to talk about hot shits. Like where your asshole, where you're sitting down taking crap. Know. And you're like, I wish I could pour a glass of milk up my ass right now. But that was me for a day and a half.
I don't have a gallbladder. Half the time
my bidet has given me the confidence to be a hot sauce lover. I would not do the sort of things I do with food if I didn't have a machine willing to throw cold water at my ass.
No, I don't have a gallbladder and I don't have a bidet. Sometimes I will eat hot, crazy stuff like hot sauce from Rockies. I will wish that my ass could drink a milkshake after that because it's just so painful.
Like my bidet is heated, but I can hit a button and I can get tap water cold out of it. And I've done that once or twice. But those peppers just lived in me.
Well,
just like trying.
This is a good place to end this conversation.
We are closing in on 2 hours, and we don't want to get too deep into whatever the hell we're talking about now. So
yeah, you don't want to do a 24-hour podcast like Nubbers.
We should do a.
I could do it.
You know what? We should plan. We should plan sometime later this year to do some sort of like a charity stream where we stay on for like an insane amount of time, just talking about random life stories and all kinds of crazy crap.
I'd have to have a chance to take a shower and use my bidet for fun and then come back. I mean, I could just cook.
One more time before we get off here. If you haven't yet, check out the link in the description where you can donate to help fight ALS. And this is going to be uploaded on Z's channel. Woohoo. After I get it sent to you.
Great. You make it small, please, because like I don't think this needs to be.
It's going to take a long time to send to you because it's a 2-hour long stream. So it's probably
make it shit. Make it 480p. It'll be fine.
Well,
no one won't care, right? You guys won't care.
Yeah, I mean, you could send him a 480p audio clip.
I'll see how long it takes to download.
Or just the audio. Yeah.
I would have to do editing and put it on video, which I'm not very.
I'm going to compress the crap out of it and I'll send it to you.
Put a picture over it. It's podcast.
It probably won't be on his channel until tomorrow because it's going to take so long.
Oh yeah, he's gonna upload. I'm going to. There's no way it's gonna get to me before I'm asleep.
Yeah.
The real question is, do you think Stephen Hawkins liked spicy food?
At some point in his life, I'm sure that
that's a question.
Everyone is a spicy food person at some point in their life. Like everybody is a wing person to an extent. So I'm sure at some point in his life he had spicy food.
There were no chicken wings in 1960. Well, it's assuming.
How long? Chickens have been around for a long time, so I'm sure there were chicken wings.
The actual chicken wings wasn't a thing until like I forget. There was an actual date. Someone explained when they were like invented. Yeah. Invented eating chicken wings.
I couldn't tell you about that.
Okay, real quick. Do we have any before we go? Do we have any suggestions for a podcast name?
Oh yeah,
any of you
put
guys
podcast names in the video comments stuff.
Yeah, Wastecast. Just we waste everyone's time for 2 hours.
Basically, yeah.
Time people should be using to research cancer.
To audio just has to be a good name.
Yeah, no, don't even aim it at audio because the way we go off tangent. Who the fuck? What's an audio? Who the fucking audio is what thing should be called? .com.
I just got the best message. It said, "Make a GoFundMe to get DMS3 TV to be able to drink a milkshake with his ass."
I think that's how we end this.
This is life changing.
I will be proud to host this on my channel once that is in it, and now it's in it. So now we can end this.
Oh, there we go.
Outro music. Do we have outro music?
We need to hire Jeremy Clarkson to say, "And on that bombshell, it's time to end."
And on
butt
that
milk.
Bombshell.
On that butt milk.
On that butt milk, it's time to end. We'll see you guys next time. Good night.
Good night, guys.